So it's a fascinating, complex and highly historic area, and I love it. Morning all. I'm having a nice bike ride today. I'm going through the Vale of Montgomery, visiting various bits and pieces, Mott and Baileys and things like that. Currently cycling through the Lymore estate, which is rather lovely, making my way to Hendomen. But first I'm going to take a look at a local mott. It's not far from a footpath, but coming across this tractor driver and open gates, I asked if I could visit. Kindly he said yes. This is Gwarthlow Mott. Not much is known about who built it and when, but it was probably in the 12th century. With no bailey attached, it may have just been a watchtower. But many motts were places of refuge during the Welsh raids. It's situated on the summit of a low ridge at the centre of the manor of Riston. There is the possibility of it being an earlier Saxon burial mound. The Saxon word llor means burial mound, and Offa's Dyke is just at the bottom of the hill. Documents from 1332, however, concerning a raid by the men of Kerry and Kedwain, say an inquiry into the raid was held at Worthlow, which can be identified with Gwarthlow, and Worthlow means Watch Hill. Now Hendomen is the first part of Montgomery, because I am in Montgomeryshire, which is where I live. And I'll tell you why. I didn't really enjoy school much, but I did enjoy history, and as a young kid I remember being fascinated by medieval history, the Marcher Lords and the Welsh Marches, Crusades, William the Conqueror, Harold with the arrow in his eye, Arthur burning the cakes, the Princess and the Pea, things like that. So here I am in the Welsh Marches, living pretty much in the Vale of Montgomery, which is a fantastic place. We've got everything from prehistoric trapways, Iron Age hill forts, Mott and Bailey castles, stone castles, and a million things in between. After visiting the Mott, I dropped down into the Vale and followed Offa's Dyke for a mile or two. Offa was the Anglo-Saxon king of Mercia from 757 to 796, and he's traditionally believed to have instigated the building of the dyke. I'll discuss the ins and outs of that in another video. Let's just say for now that Offa had it built sometime in the 780s. Here in the Vale it runs in a dead straight line, roughly north-south. At this point here, it's still the official England-Wales border. I'm on the Powys side, the other side is Shropshire. You can tell it was built by the Mercians, as the bank is on their side and the ditch on the Welsh side. It's not really understood what its purpose was. It certainly delineates a border of some sort, but it's not big enough in depth and height to be really defensive, and it's too long to be easily patrolled. Again though, that discussion is also for another time. So it's a fascinating, complex and highly historic area, and I love it. So Hendomen is hidden in those trees over that hedge, and is sadly on private land, so it's drone time. I just need to find somewhere safe and quiet. This lay-by might do. And as you can see over in the distance there is the inevitable view of Corndon. Hendommen was built by an ancient ford across the River Severn, a traditional route between Mid Wales and England. The mott is at the top of this shot. Roger of Montgomery came across with old Bill the Conqueror in 1066, and being one of his best mates was rewarded with lands on the England-Wales border, and he was made Earl of Shrewsbury. To defend his land, he built a motte and bailey castle and named it after his home in Normandy, Montgomery. When the new stone castle and town of Montgomery was built a short distance away in 1223, this became known as Old Montgomery, and eventually Hendommen, which is Welsh for Old Mound. Montgomery is just behind that hill, and this is the hamlet of Hendommen at the crossroads of two ancient trackways, which the castle also controlled. Corndon is on the horizon, a hill that dominates the landscape. When Hendommen became obsolete, they built this place. A place to visit in the future. Now, that patch in the middle distance is where we're heading next. I drop down towards the river. Green for go. Oh, nice and easy. This is Igaya, or Fordengaya, or any number of variations thereon. And look at those fantastic parch marks. It's been very dry this year. Fordengaya is a Roman camp, also built to control Rhydwymn, the ford across the Severn. It was built around 75 AD and is probably the Lavobrinta of the Ravenna cosmography, which is a work describing the known world in 700 AD and was compiled by a clerk in Ravenna. The Gaia sits on an old Roman road between the Roman city of Wroxeter in what is now Shropshire and Caersws, site of another Roman camp on the River Severn in Mid Wales. The Gaia was occupied for much of the time before it was abandoned around 364 to 378. Crop marks for Avicus, a surrounding town, have been spotted in crop marks from the air, so it was pretty important. The River Severn is in that line of trees at the bottom, and that's looking back towards Hendommen and Montgomery. We'll be heading that way home in a second. So, rather lovely, fabulous time. Time, I think, to head home. Oh, certainly back to Monty.
You can do it.
Thanks. So this is Montgomery. Fabulous little place. Used to be the county town of Montgomeryshire. I thought I'd just come and have a quick ride through. Thank you. That's the main square, obviously. And oh, and that's it. It's beautiful but small, compact and bijou. So it's a fascinating, complex and highly historic area, and I love it.